All right, Dan. I think I'm audible to everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Mariam from ADPList community team, and today's session is in partnership with LottieFiles. You guys know what LottieFiles is, but it's a platform which allows motion and design to your files. LottieFiles is a great platform which helps you with the files which have animation, design. And in today's sessions, we have an amazing speaker here, Mursalleen Ahmed, who is a product designer at LottieFiles, and his focus is on developing motion-focused content for the community. And today we are going to learn about how you can get started with LottieFiles, adding motion to your files, how to bring motion to your design, and how you can make your apps and websites more engaging. That's what we are going to do. So stay tuned for today's session. Without any further delays, I'll just pass it to Mursalleen to take the lead. And Mursalleen, thank you so much for your time. I'll just pass it to you, and the floor is yours.
Awesome. Is my screen visible? Is everything okay?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. So hello, everyone. Today's talk is called Lottie 101, A Guide to Motion. Lottie has a world of possibilities, and we are going to explore them all today. But before we start, here's a little background about me, the speaker. So my name is Mursalleen Ahmed, and I'm a product designer. I started my career at 19 years of age as a visual designer, and slowly my interest developed in motion design. So I picked up motion design on my own and then began my journey in the world of motion. Later, I got into product design as my interest in design developed further. And now I'm a product designer at LottieFiles, focusing on developing motion-focused educational product design content for the community. And as of now, I'm 22 years old. So this is the story of a 3-year span. So here's a video that my team prepared called Why Motion. And I think it really gets the point across of this talk. So I'll play it for you.
As humans, we are very curious, imaginative, and perceptive, always trying to capture our surroundings in different ways. The way we represented our surroundings evolved hand to hand with technology. First came the cavemen with their drawings, then paintings, photography, cinema, and now VR. In the same way, when the internet started, it had a very similar evolution. It went from rich text, CSS, images, videos, GIFs, and Lotties. Now, it is possible to add motion to the web and your apps, and translate the reality to digital. Get started with LottieFiles.
Awesome. So that video, that 1-minute video really captures the point of why motion is important. And it also captures the point on how the progress of motion, how it used to be and how it has evolved into Lottie. And so, yeah, let's move on to the next point. And the next point is how motion can benefit you. I mean, as a designer, as a business owner, whatever you are, how can motion benefit you? So motion is known to increase engagement. Why? Because it engages the user on a very deep level. Motion grabs people's attention, and it really it transcends language boundaries, and it engages people in a very special way, and that increases engagement. And it also makes your experience, your app, your website more memorable. And engagement isn't the only benefit. The other benefits like interactivity and personalization. You can really make your app interactive with animation, with motion. and you can really personalize it. You can add personality to your app with motion. And all of that, the increase in engagement and the increase in interactivity and personalization leads to increase in conversion. So that's how motion can benefit you as a designer, as an animator, as a business owner. And motion evokes emotion. As I said, that motion really transcends boundaries, and it really captures the hearts of people. And why can motion do that? And the reason is that motion evokes emotion. So it connects with people's and sensations, with their memories and in emotions and in their imagination. So motion evokes emotion, and that's how it can benefit your product. And motion is a universal language. So the reason motion is a universal language is that motion doesn't have a language. So it transcends language in a very special way. And it transcends language in such a way that everyone can understand your point without any words being said. So it doesn't matter what the background of the person is, where they are geographically located, what language they speak, they will get the point of your animation. And that's because motion is a universal language. Everyone gets motion. And our mission at LottieFiles, our ethos, our philosophy, is to enable motion on every website, every app, and digital screen on the planet. So we want to create tools, we want to create plugins, we want to create such a workflow that it meets all your motion design needs, so that it's a one-stop shop for all your motion design needs, all your needs are met. And that helps our mission, the mission of spreading motion to every website, every app, and every digital screen on the planet. So getting to the bedrock of the matter, what is a Lottie? Well, a Lottie is it's an animated file format. It's a JavaScript JSON-based animation file format that lets you ship high quality animations on multiple platforms such as iOS, web, Android. It's vector based. And because it's vector based, it means that it never loses quality and it's interactive. And because it's vector-based, it also has a very tiny file size compared to other file formats such as GIF and PNGs. So a Lottie is several times, tens, maybe hundreds of times smaller than a GIF and a PNG sequence. So it's basically a paradigm shift. It's a revolution in motion. So to recap, it's higher in quality than GIFs, PNG sequences, other animated file formats. It's smaller in size, so it runs better. It doesn't bog down your app. It doesn't slow down your website. It's very small, it's high quality, and it's supported all across platforms. So you don't have to worry about it being supported and not being supported in this browser, that browser, on this device, that device. No, it works across the board. High quality, small size, and no issues in support. So, and where can you use Lottie? What are the implementation? Like, where can you use it? Well, the answer to that is that it's limitless. The only limit is your imagination. How creative can you be? You can use it in walkthroughs. I've seen it used in walkthroughs, in-app animations, in website and blogs. Telegram uses it in stickers. In fact, the YouTube like animation, when you click like on the YouTube app, there's an animation. That is a Lottie. On Twitter, when you tap like, that is a Lottie. So the use cases are limitless. It can be used in AR, VR, in animated icons, in presentations such as this one, in social media, in ads, all across the board. And LottieFiles is the world's largest library of Lottie animations. And it is a host to all your animation needs. It has open source animations that are free for you to use. And basically you can, all your animation needs are met in the LottieFiles library. All the animations are free to use and open source, so you can use it in your paid projects, you can use it on commercial projects, you can use it on personal projects. They are open source and they are free for you to use. And because of our efforts, more than 200,000 companies are using Motion. So you name it, all the big companies, Facebook, Apple, Google, Samsung, all these big companies are using Lotties, and they are using Motion. Like, for example, I mentioned Twitter, their like animation is a Lottie. YouTube, Lottie. In fact, in Apple, when you visit their website, you can find many Lottie animations, such as the Touch ID animation on their website. So these companies are making very creative use of motion in the form of Lottie animations. And we are not just a library of animations. We also, as I said, we make plugins and integrations. So we have a plugin for Figma. We have a plugin for Adobe Animate, for After Effects, XD, WordPress, VS Code. And these are plugins that help you create the animations. But there are also integrations that help you use animations. So in Protopie, you can use Lottie. You can use Lotties in Protopie because Protopie supports Lottie. So the same goes for Webflow, Framer, Vectory, as well as Mac, Windows, and Google and Microsoft. So we create integrations and plugins all across the board. And because of these efforts, a fun fact about the LottieFiles workspace is that every 6.5 seconds, an animation is uploaded to our LottieFiles platform. So every 6.5 seconds, there goes another animation that's uploaded. So that's how active the LottieFiles platform is. So here is an example of the user journey that you could be going through. So our users, when they create an animation, they use Adobe After Effects to create an animation, but they can also use Adobe Animate. So when you create an animation in Adobe After Effects, you can export it using the Adobe After Effects plugin. You can also create an animation in Adobe Animate and export it using the Animate plugin. Once you export the animation, you can use the LottieFiles platform to test, edit, and preview the animations. So the LottieFiles platform gives you support in testing, editing, and previewing the animation. And so the same goes for the app. You can test your animation on the app to see whether it's supported on mobile or not. Then the LottieFiles platform helps you collaborate and optimize and hand off your animation. So it helps you send your animation to developers in the best way. It helps you get stakeholder feedback from the stakeholders. It helps you optimize the animation to lower the file size all across the board. The LottieFiles platform supports you in every step of the way. Then LottieFiles libraries and open source platforms such as Notion. So LottieFiles helps you implement that too across multiple platforms such as Notion, Medium, Figma, etc. And to show you the power of Lottie, we created this website using Framer, and all the animations that you're seeing right now are Lottie animations. So we'll actually go through this in the Framer. We'll go through the behind the scenes of where the magic happens. And as you can see, all these animations that you're seeing, all these are Lottie animations. So to deep dive into how this is happening, we'll first have to go into the LottieFiles workspace. Here is the LottieFiles workspace. Now, this is the dashboard of, and all the animations that you're seeing right now are the animations that my team and I have recently added and modified. On the left bar, you can see workspaces. So you can create your own workspace, and you can have your workspaces where all your team can be added. And you can have your own folders in the workspace where you can add your own animations. Here we have a folder called Hungry Monsters, where we have our animations for the website. So to explore the features of the LottieFiles platform, I'll go into this animations just as an example. So as this animation loads, okay, so this is the animation. Now, the LottieFiles platform, so when this, we'll explore this feature first, the download and export feature. When you click on download and export, you can download the Lottie using different file formats. File formats such as Lottie JSON, optimized Lottie JSON, .lottie, which is compatible with .lottie players, etc. But it's not only limited to Lottie. You can also export it in the form of GIF, MP4, WebM, and MOV. What's interesting about MOV and WebM is that you can also retain its transparency as well as export it using different sizes. So that's how you can export these animations. Then you can also share the animation with your team, and you can also control the access. For example, I'll share it with my teammate, and I can also manipulate what kind of access I'm giving. So I'll give full access and I'll click invite. That's how easy it is to invite someone to the animation. Now this person can view this animation and they'll get a notification and an email. Now there's also a sharing link. We'll get into this later. So the next feature that we can see is the comments feature. Now this is what enables collaboration, and it's very great for collaboration. And the reason is that you can actually point to specific keyframes, specific frames inside the animation, and give feedback on that. For example, I want to give feedback on the 90th frame. So I'll click frame specific. It already shows 90, and I'll be like, this needs some work, and I'll be like post. And that's how the animator will know what frame I'm referring to. And as you can see, the little icon appeared, and I can refer to another frame like 133. I'll be like, this is good, post. Now the animator can go through this feedback, and that will be very helpful to them. The next piece of information is this. So you can go into the file size, you can check out the frame rate. These are all the information that is accompanied with your animation. Then my favorite feature is color palette. So like you can instantly change the color of your animation to try out different colors. For example, I'll try this. I could try this. Okay, this could look cool. These, maybe this one. So you can instantly change the color of your animation. There is no need to go back to After Effects and start mucking around with layers. No, you can just you can use this and change the color. But you can also use your own color palette. So you can enter your own hex code. I could choose this one and just update it. And as you can see, the animation has been updated. And then I could save the animation on top of it. Yeah. The next part is segments. So sometimes you want the developer, when they are implementing an animation, you want them to loop a specific part inside the animation. So let's just say I want to loop from 0 to 100 frame. So I can add a segment over here, and I can label it, and I can name the segment a name, for example, looping, and I can select whether it has to loop once or loop or play once. So that's how you can guide the developer as to how to implement the animation. Then version history. This is also extremely important because often as designers, we get confused when we have too many files and too many version names, and we don't remember which one we were supposed to work on. So version history takes care of that. So you can instantly go back to any of the previous versions that you had, and you can instantly view all the version history that you had. Now we'll head off into the handoff section. Now this is very important because this helps you embed and use your animation across different platforms. So as we were talking about that website that we were making in Framer, here it is. So we have already made the rest of the website, and we've left out 2 animations so that I can do it in front of you. So here is the header animation. Now I'll input the Lottie animation right here. So I'll go into my LottieFiles platform. I'll go into header. This is my header. And I will go into the handoff section, and I'll enable asset link. As the asset link is enabled, I'll copy the link. I'll go into Framer. I'll click insert. I'll go in video. I'll click Lottie, and that inserts a Lottie animation, Lottie player. I'll resize that according to the section. And then I'll input the link into the source URL, and I'll hit enter. And that instantly inputs your Lottie animation. Now the next part is this. This is a Lottie animation, and it's a button. And it's a very special button. And the reason it's special is that we want it to be interactive. So when the website loads, we want the button to be static. And as soon as the cursor hovers on it, we want the button to animate. So it has to be static in the start and then animate with the cursor. So how do we do that? Well, we enable the asset link. Again, we copy the asset link. We go into Framer. We go into the component. And again, we insert our Lottie player. We resize the Lottie player. And again, we input our Lottie. That puts in the button. Now, when we preview this, it's not really interactive, right? I mean, when it's not responding to my cursor. So to do that, I'll create a variant. I'll click on this and I'll click on variant and hover. That creates two variants of this button. Both of them are identical. So in the primary variant, the one that will load upon the website when it loads, that has to not be playing. And when you hover on it, that has to be playing. So primary has to not be playing, and hover has to be playing. And the loop should be off. So primary, not playing, hover, playing. And as I preview it, as I hover on it, the animation plays. And as I stop hovering on it, the animation goes back. It responds to my cursor. Okay. Now we'll go back to the design, and all the animations are put in. So now we can preview it. And as I preview it, there you go. All the animations are working perfectly. So as I scroll down, I can test them. Let's test this button. It works. It responds to my cursor. It's interactive. See? And let's see these. The carousel works too. All the animations are running at their original frame rate. And this one is working too. And these are working as well. And as well as this one. So yeah, that was our presentation on Lottie implementation and the LottieFiles platform in general. Miriam, want to go ahead into the Q&A? If there are any questions?
Yeah, sure. I think I can see a few questions, but thank you so much, Mursalleen. It was really great. I mean, I don't have a design background, but I was really interested in that, how it's working. So it was really, really nice. So thank you so much for sharing how actually Lottie works. So it has given me insight as well. So thank you for that. So we have the first question from Maria, who says, where do you can create this animation? Is it possible inside Lottie? I think you have answered this, but any thoughts, any further thing you want to add?
Yes. So currently it's possible to create it using many different programs. You can create it in After Effects. You can create it in Adobe Animate. You can create it in other tools too. We are also currently working on one tool. So yeah, you can expect some news from us around that.
All right, then great. Next is from Jenny, who says, so this is developer friendly, right?
Exactly. It is developer friendly. That's the whole point. So LottieFiles is trying to first of all, it's making animation and handoff and everything easy. So it's bridging the gap between animators and designers and developers. So it's making the implementation very, very easy. So yes, I would say exactly. It is developer friendly.
Great. Next is from Kapil, who says, how do I integrate an Angular front end?
Can you repeat that?
He's asking, how do I integrate in Angular front end?
Okay, so for that, okay, that's a very good question. So we have guides for this in our website. Just go on Google and type LottieFiles interactivity guide. And that's like a one-stop location for all your implementation needs.
Hope that answers. So I can see more questions coming up. Next is, do you have any suggestions or favorite resources for learning how to work with Lottie animations and incorporating them into your projects?
Yes, so we are working on this LottieFiles on our website. You can visit our education section. So it's like a one-stop location for learning everything you need to know about LottieFiles. And we are also launching a Lottie 101 course, which is like a series of videos. It's made by me. Basically, we go through everything that you need to know about LottieFiles. So stay tuned for Lottie 101, the course.
Oh, that's amazing. So the next question is probably the last one. How do I integrate in Protopie?
How do you integrate in Protopie? Okay, so that's quite easy. In Protopie, it's very easy to insert your Lottie animations. You can research for it inside our LottieFiles website. You can find guides on how to use Lottie animations in your Protopie designs.
All right, then. So I think we are done.